Hello everyone. Oh man, I am just knocking stuff over. So I decided to go ahead and film, and I picked some books. 25 books that I want to read in 2025. I don't know what December is going to be like. When you work in retail, things just are extra busy, and so I'm trying to film a bunch of videos as I can and get those scheduled, so it's just one less thing to worry about in December. So, well, not worry about, but I want to do that, and so it's just to kind of lighten my load in December a little bit. So, 25 books. I have picked 25 books for 2025. I'm going to go through the hardbacks. I have 7 hardback books that I want to get to. This first one is Nyxia Unleashed, and this is book number 2 in the Nixia triad. And this is written by Scott Reintgen, and I loved the first book. This one says, surviving Eden is the biggest reward of all. Emma Atwater thought Babel's game sounded easy, or Babel, I don't know. Anyway, get points, get paid, go home, but it didn't take long for him to learn that Babel's competition was full of broken promises, none darker or more damaging than the final one. Now Emmett and the rest of the Genesis survivors must forge their own path through a dangerous new world. Their mission from Babel is simple: extract Nyxia, the most valuable material in the universe, and win over the indigenous Adamite population. But Emmett and the others quickly realize that they are caught between two powerful forces, Babel and the Adamites. With clashing agendas, will the Genesis team make it out alive? And then it's just a black cover under there. I was just curious. So, really enjoyed Nyxia. I really want to continue with this series. Okay. The next one I have is, that I've been eyeing, I have a couple of Book of the Month books because I haven't been getting to those and I really need to. So I have 4. This first one is The Invisible Life of Addie Larue by V.E. Schwab. France, 1714. In a moment of desperation, a young woman named Adeline meets a dangerous stranger and makes a terrible mistake. As she realizes the limitations of her Faustian bargain, I guess, being able to live forever without being able to be remembered by anyone she sees, Addie chooses to flee her small village as everything she once held dear is torn away. But there are still dreams to be had and a life to live, and she is determined to find excitement and satisfaction in the wide, beckoning world, even if she will be doomed to be alone forever. Or not quite alone, as every year on her birthday, the alluring Luke comes to visit, checking to see if she is ready to give up her soul. The darkly thrilling game stretches through the ages, seeing Addie witness history and fight to regain herself as she crosses ocean and tries on various lives. It will be 300 years before she stumbles into a hidden bookstore and discovers someone who can remember her name, and suddenly everything changes again. The next Book of the Month one I have is The Survivors by Jane Harper. I just grabbed 4 random ones. Let's see, this one says, Kieran Elliott's life changed forever on the day a reckless mistake led to devastating consequences. The guilt that still haunts him resurfaces during a visit with his young family to the small coastal community he once called home. Kieran's parents are struggling in a town where fortunes are forged by the sea. Between them all is his absent brother Finn. When a body is discovered on the beach, long-held secrets threaten to emerge. A sunken wreck, a missing girl, and questions that have never washed away. So, okay. The next Book of the Month one I have is Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hilner. When Paris Peralta is arrested in her home, in her own bathroom, covered in blood, holding a straight razor, her celebrity husband dead in the bathtub behind her, she knows she'll be charged with murder. But as bad as this looks, that's not what worries her the most. With the unwanted media attention now surrounding her, it's only a matter of time before someone from her long-hidden past recognizes her and destroys the new life she's worked so hard to build, along with any chance of a future. 25 years earlier, Ruby Reyes, known as the Ice Queen, was convicted of a similar murder in a trial that was a media sensation and riveted the nation. Reyes knows who Paris really is, and when Reyes is unexpectedly granted an early release from prison, she threatens to expose all of Paris' secrets. Left with no other choice, Paris must finally, once and for all, confront the dark past she thought she had escaped. Because the only thing worse than a murder charge is the dark personal history that Paris will do anything to keep hidden. And this last one that I have from Book of the Month for 25 books in 2025 is The 10,000 Doors of January by Alix E. Harrow. It's a little stiff. Okay. In a sprawling mansion filled with peculiar treasures, January's scholar is a curiosity herself. As the ward of the wealthy McLock, she feels little different from the artifacts that decorate the halls, carefully maintained, largely ignored, and utterly out of place. Then she finds a strange book, a book that carries the secret of other worlds, and tells a tale of secret doors, of love, adventure, and danger. Each page turn reveals impossible truths about the world, and January discovers a story increasingly entwined with her own. So, for whatever reason, that one intimidates me. So does this one, because it's a chunker of a book. This is over 600 pages, I believe. Right now I'm on, it says terminology. I don't care about the terminology. Okay, there's an appendix, maybe it's not quite 600. I see here's another appendix. Appendices. 603 pages it looks like. Yeah, it looks like it's 603 pages, but still. And that's Dune by Frank Herbert. So, I really want to get to this one. Okay. It says, set on the desert planet Arrakis, Dune is the story of the boy Paul Atreides. I'm going to try and find an audiobook for this one. Heir to a noble family tasked with ruling an inhospitable world where the only thing of value is the spice, melange, a drug capable of extending life and enhancing consciousness. Coveted across the known universe, melange is a prize worth killing for. When House Atreides is betrayed, the destruction of Paul's family will set the boy on a journey toward a destiny greater than he could ever have imagined. And as he evolves into the mysterious man known as Muad'Dib, he will bring to fruition humankind's most ancient and unattainable dream. Okay, and the last hardback from our 25 in 2025 is The Frugal Wizards Handbook for Surviving Medieval England by Brandon Sanderson. Okay. Let's see. A man awakens in a clearing in what appears to be medieval England with no memory of who he is, where he came from, or why he is there. Chased by a group from his own time, his sole hope for survival lies in rearranging his missing memories, making allies among the locals, and perhaps even trusting in their superstitious boasts. His only help from the real world should have been a guidebook entitled The Frugal Wizards Handbook for Surviving Medieval England, except the copy exploded during transit. The few fragments he managed to save provide clues to his situation, but can he figure them out in time to survive? Okay, next up, and these I just was like, ooh, I want to read that, I want to read that. And so I was just grabbing books left and right. Okay, Clown in a Cornfield by Cesare. Quinn Maybrook just wants to make it to graduation, but she might not make it to morning. When Quinn and her father moved to a tiny town with a weird clown for a mascot, they were looking for a fresh start. But ever since the town's only factory shut down, Kettle Springs has been cracked in half. Most of the town believes that the kids are to blame. After all, the juniors and seniors at Kettle Springs High are the ones who threw the party where Arthur Hill's daughter died. They are the ones who set the abandoned factory on fire and who spend all their time posting pranks on YouTube. They have no respect and no idea what it means to work hard. For the kids, it's the other way around. And now, Kettle Springs is caught in a constant battle between old and new, tradition and progress. It's a fight that looks like it will destroy the town, until one homicidal clown with a pork pie hat and a red nose decides to end it for good, because if your opponents all die, you win the debate by default. The Runaway Duchess by Joanna Lowell. Pretty and pampered, Lavina Yardley always dreamed of becoming a duchess, but a family disgrace forces her into a marriage with the most vile duke in England, and she finds herself desperate for a way out. When a rustic stranger mistakes her for a globe-trotting botanist, Muriel Pendrake, at a train station, Lavina has a split second to decide whether to submit to her fate or steal someone else's. Neil Tremaine spent his youth traveling the world as Varnum Nursery's most daring plant hunter. Now he runs the business and is ready to settle down with a like-minded wife who'll fit right in with his large, happy, down-to-earth family. His correspondence with Muriel Pendrake proved that they're the perfect match. Odd that the woman in the flesh seems more like a society belle than a scientist. As they tramp the Cornish moors together, Lavina and Neil discover a wild and rare desire. But this blossoming love is rooted in lies, and when the real Muriel Pendrake shows up, they can't hide from who they are. The truth may wither their hopes of happiness, or it may bloom into the sweetest love of all. Next I have Manic Monday, Inc. by Melissa Storm. There are two others that follow a group of friends. Yeah, two others. The Sunday Potluck Club and Wednesday Walks and Wags. Absolutely love, and I hope there will be another one because there's 4 friends, and so this follows one of like a third part of that 4-friend group. So I'm hoping there'll be a 4th book, but I haven't heard or seen anything. Live in the moment. Nicole Peterson increasingly believes in rituals, routines, and checklists, especially after almost losing her father to cancer 2 years ago. Now she lives in constant fear of saying the wrong things, knowing any conversation could be their last. She met her best friends and their cherished canine companions at the hospital right before each lost a parent. As the only member of the Sunday Potluck Club with a surviving loved one, she has a hard time opening up to her friends about the struggles that come with remission. When a new doctor diagnoses Nicole with obsessive-compulsive disorder, she refuses to accept it. Then a series of unexpected events further throws her carefully scheduled life off kilter and her anxieties into overdrive. It seems the only person she can confide in is her best friend's older brother Caleb, her polar opposite. A free spirit, Caleb treasures spontaneity, avoiding structure as much as possible. Yet he's the happiest person Nicole has ever met. As they grow closer, might their unlikely alliance help Nicole rediscover the more relaxed self she can scarcely remember, and even find something extra special along the way. And then I have A Spot of Trouble by Teri Wilson. Violet March. Oh, this used to belong to the Las Vegas County Library District. This is like completely brand new. I didn't realize that this was from a library. Anyway. Violet March and Sam Nash are as different as night and day, and have been enemies ever since Violet accused Sam of dog-napping her beloved Dalmatian. Sam knows that would never happen. His well-trained fire safety demonstration dog never steps out of line, whereas Violet's problematic pooch has never met a command she didn't ignore, completely much like her bubbly owner. This is sounding like 101 Dalmatians, kind of like a retelling, modern-day retelling. Against a backdrop of canine hijinks and a summertime softball league, the 2 Dalmatian owners constantly butt heads. But by the time the 4th of July Fireman's Ball rolls around, they begin to realize that sometimes love isn't so clear-cut, and a little puppy love might just be the thing they've been missing. Okay, next up I have a Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade. Marcus Castor Rupp has a secret. The world may know him as Aeneas, star of the biggest show on television, but fan fiction readers call him something else. Book Aeneas would never. Marcus releases his frustrations with the show by writing and posting anonymous stories about the internet's favorite couple, Aeneas and Lavina. But if anyone were to discover his online persona, he'd be finished in Hollywood. April Whittier has secrets of her own, a hardcore Lavina fan. She's long hidden her fanfic and cosplay hobbies from her real life, but not anymore. Okay. When she dares to post her latest costume creation on Twitter, her plus-size take goes viral. And when Marcus asks her out to spite her internet critics, truth officially becomes stranger than fiction. On their date, Marcus quickly realizes he wants more from April than the one-time publicity stunt. But when he discovers she's unapologetic Lavina stan, his closest fandom friend, he has one more huge secret to keep from her. With love and Marcus's career on the line, can Marcus and April stop hiding once and for all, or will a match made in fandom end up prematurely canceled? Next I have, and I still need to read the third installment of The Lord of the Rings, but I want to read The Hobbit in 2025. Bilbo Baggins is a hobbit who enjoys a comfortable, unambitious life. Okay. Rarely traveling any farther than his pantry or cellar, but his contentment is disturbed when the wizard Gandalf and a company of dwarves arrive on his doorstep one day to whisk him away on an adventure. They have launched a plot to raid the treasure hoard guarded by Smaug, the Magnificent, a large and very dangerous dragon. Bilbo reluctantly joins their quest, unaware that on his journey to the Lonely Mountain, he will encounter both a magic ring and a frightening creature known as Gollum. Next I have If the Shoe Fits, written by Julie Murphy. It says this is a meant to be novel, and the other books in this series are written by different authors, at least that I have seen thus far. If the shoe doesn't fit, maybe it's time to design your own. Cindy loves shoes. A well-placed bow or a chic stacked heel is her form of self-expression. As a fashion-obsessed plus-size woman, she can never find designer clothes that work on her body, but a special pair of shoes always fits just right. With a shiny new design degree but no job in sight, Cindy moves back in with her stepmother, Erica Tremaine, the executive producer of the world's biggest reality dating show. When a slot on Before Midnight needs filling at the last minute, Cindy is thrust into the spotlight. Showcasing her killer shoe collection on network TV seems more like a great way to jumpstart her career. And while she's at it, why not go on a few lavish dates with an eligible suitor? But being the first and only plus-size contestant on Before Midnight turns her into a viral sensation and a body positivity icon overnight. Even harder to behave? She can actually see herself falling for the Prince Charming. To make it to the end, despite the backhanded compliments, conniving producers, and the house full of fellow contestants she's not sure she can trust, Cindy will have to take a leap of faith and hope her heels and her heart don't break in the process. Next I have, Welcome to Midnight Vale by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Cranor. There's no synopsis on the back. Is there a synopsis on the inside? Yes, there's a flap here. Welcome to Night Vale, a friendly desert community somewhere in the American Southwest. In this ordinary little town where ghosts, angels, aliens, and government conspiracies are commonplace parts of everyday life. The lives of two women with two mysteries are about to converge. Man. Okay. Pawn shop proprietor Jackie Fierro abides by routine, but a crack appears in the standard order of her perpetually 19-year-old life when a mysterious man in a tan jacket gives her a slip of paper marked by two pencil-smudged words, King City. Everything about the man unsettles her, especially the paper that she cannot remove from her hand. Yet when Jackie puts her life on hold to search for the man, no one who meets him can seem to remember anything about him. Diane Creighton's 15-year-old son, Josh, is moody and a shapeshifter. Lately, Diane has started to see the boy's father everywhere she goes, looking the same as he did the day he left when they were teenagers. Josh is growing ever more curious about his estranged father, leading to a disaster Diane can see coming but is helpless to prevent. Diane's search to reconnect with her son and Jackie's search to reclaim her routine life draw them increasingly closer to each other and to this place that may hold the key to their mysteries and their futures, if they can ever find it. Next, I really want to finish this series. I don't know if there's going to be more, but this is book number 4 in A Pinch of Magic adventure. This one is A Storm of Sisters by Michelle Harrison. A frozen town called Wilderness, promising adventure. The ghostly legend of a fortune teller, a highwayman, and a stolen crystal ball. 3 sisters with a mystery to solve as an icy storm rages around them. Next I have 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. This is a chunker of an edition. So And I don't, there's no, oh, a love story, a mystery, a fantasy novel of self-discovery, a dystopia to rival George Orwell's IQ 84 is a tremendous feat of imagination from one of our most revered contemporary writers. And let's see, is there a synopsis on the inside, maybe? And nope, it's all praise from Vanity Fair, Los Angeles Times, etc. Translated from Japanese by Jay Rubin and Philip Gabriel. And book number 1, April to June. So no synopsis. So that's, I really know nothing going into it. Next, I have The Setup by Lizzie Dent. I read a book by Lizzie Dent, and it was hilarious, and so I'm looking forward to, and it was a library book, but I thought I'll start with a different edition to start collecting her work. The last place, very average 31-year-old Mara Williams thought she'd be is on a solo vacation impersonating her fortune teller when she finally meets the one. Joseph, a gorgeous Australian cellist, sits down for a reading, and before she knows it, she's telling him his identity will be sitting in a pub, or his destiny will be sitting in a pub in the English seaside town of Broadgate on the last Friday of August, and that her name is Mara. Enter Project Mara, 3 months to turn herself into the stylish, confident woman she's always hoped to be. Meanwhile, the crumbling, formerly glamorous beachside pool club where she works is under threat, and her eccentric colleagues enlist her help to save it. Just as a handsome new housemate casts doubt on her ideas about the one, can Mara pull off the transformation of a lifetime? And by summer's end, will she know who is her destiny? Okay, book number 19 on my list, and I can read these in any order, is Finley Donovan is killing it. I almost said Donnelly. Finley Donovan is killing it. This is by L. Casamano. Finley Donovan is killing it, except she's really not. A stressed-out single mom of 2 and a struggling novelist, Finley finds her life in chaos. When Finley is overheard discussing the plot of her new suspense novel with her agent over lunch, she's mistaken for a contract killer and inadvertently accepts an offer to dispose of a problem husband. Finley soon discovers that crime in real life is a lot more difficult than its fictional counterpart, as she becomes tangled in a murder investigation. 6. Okay, last 6 books for this 25 in 2025. Next up I have Dean Koontz, Tock. Tommy Fan is a successful detective novelist living the American dream in Southern California. One evening he comes home to find a small rag doll on his doorstep. It's a simple doll covered entirely in white cloth with crossed black stitches for the eyes and mouth, and another pair forming an X over the heart. Curious, he brings it inside. And that night, Tommy hears an odd popping sound and looks up to see the stitches breaking over the doll's heart. And in minutes, the fabric of Tommy Fan's reality will be torn apart. Something terrifying emerges from the pristine white cloth. Something that will follow Tommy wherever he goes. Something that he can't destroy. It wants Tommy's life, and he doesn't know why. He has only one ally, a beautiful, strangely intuitive waitress he meets by chance, or by design, far beyond his comprehension. He has too many questions, no answers, and very little time, because the vicious and demonically clever doll has left this warning on Tommy's computer screen. The deadline is dawn. Next, I have The Lost World by Michael Crichton. It has been 6 years since the secret disaster at Jurassic Park. 6 years since the extraordinary dream of science and imagination came to a crashing end. The dinosaurs destroyed the park, dismantled and destroyed. Okay, the dinosaurs destroyed, the park dismantled. Yeah. And the island indefinitely closed to the public. There are rumors that something has survived. Next, I have The Queen of the Damned by Anne Rice. Let's see. In this extraordinary sensual novel of the complex, erotic, electrifying world of the undead, Anne Rice unleashes Akasha, the Queen of the Damned, who has risen from a 6,000-year sleep to let loose the powers of the night. Akasha has a marvelously devious plan to save mankind and destroy the vampire Lestat. Next, I have The Cat Who Could Read Backwards by Lillian Jackson Braun. The world of modern art is a mystery to many, but for Jim Quillerin, it turns into a mystery of another sort. When his assignment to cover the art beat for the Daily Fluxion leads down the path to murder. A stabbing in an art gallery, vandalized paintings, a fateful fall from a scaffolding. This is not all what Quillerin expects when he turns his repertorial talents to art. But now Quillerin and his newly found partner Coco, the brilliant Siamese, are back in their element, sniffing out clues and confounding criminals intent on mayhem and murder. I'm wanting to continue a lot of series with these, especially these smaller paperback ones. And this one is Death in Dark Blue. This is book number 2 in a series in a Writer's Apprentice mystery. And this is written by Julia Buckley. Things are beginning to go right for Lena. She's got a new job assisting suspense novelist and friend Camilla Graham. She lives rent-free in Camilla's beautiful Gothic house. She even has a handsome new boyfriend, Sam West. After being under attack by the media and his neighbors, Sam has recently been cleared of suspicion for murder. Journalists and townsfolk alike are remorseful, and one blogger would even like to apologize to him in person. But when she's found dead behind Sam's house, Lena must dodge paparazzi as she unravels the many mysteries that threaten to darken the skies of her little town and her newfound love with Sam. And the last book in my 25 books that I would love to read in 2025, hopefully I'll get to them, we shall see, is book number 3 in the Hannibal Lecter series. And this is Hannibal by Thomas Harris. And then there is a book number 4, but obviously I'm going to prioritize this one. Oh, my back cover is ripped. Anyway, okay. 7 years have passed since Dr. Hannibal Lecter escaped from custody. 7 years since FBI Special Agent Clarice Starling interviewed him in a maximum security hospital for the criminally insane. The doctor is still at large, but Starling has never forgotten her encounters with Dr. Lecter, and the metallic rasp of his seldom used voice still sounds in her dreams. And that's it. That's all it says. So, yeah, we shall see. And book number 4 is Hannibal Rising. So I'm looking forward to getting into, I guess, the main character. I think he's a serial killer, if I'm understanding correctly in this. But yeah. So Hannibal by Thomas Harris. And that is it. Those are the 25 books that I hope to read in 2025. Have you read any of these books? Have you read any books by any of these authors? If you are making the same list, what are some of the authors that you would like to get to in 2025? Are you even going to be doing a 25 and 25? Let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I will talk to you later.